Raphael Walker opened his eyes 5 minutes before the alarm clock went off, as he had done for 9 years. He reached out to silence it before Ava woke up. He watched his wife sleeping, her dark hair spread across the pillow, her serene face not showing all the daily struggles she faced taking care of the children and trying to supplement the family income with her crafts. In the next room, 7-year-old Liam and 5-year-old Zoe were still asleep. Raphael entered quietly, stroked their hair and left, carrying the guilt of not being there as much as he would like. He missed school performances, bedtime stories, the simple moments that built their childhood. In the kitchen, he found the lunchbox carefully prepared by Ava. A note accompanied it. "Everything will be fine today. We love you." He smiled, one of those smiles that held more sadness than joy. How could Ava maintain hope when he himself had already lost his? He took the crowded bus to the large commercial building in the city centre. A 20-story structure that housed several companies. Construtora Horizonte, where he worked, occupied the 5th floor. It wasn't the most prestigious place in the building, but for Raphael, for a long time, it represented the fulfillment of a dream. Upon entering the lobby, he spotted Helen at the reception. At 60 years old, she had worked there since the building's opening. Her silver hair framed a face marked by time, but her brown eyes retained a youthful glint, attentive and warm. "Good morning, my dear," she exclaimed upon seeing Raphael. "Did you bring that beautiful smile today?" Raphael forced a smile. "Good morning, Helen. How are you today?" "Better now that I've seen you. And look," she lowered her voice, "there's a cinnamon bun left over from yesterday's party in the drawer. I'll come by your floor later." Raphael thanked her sincerely. Those small gestures from Helen were rays of sunshine on increasingly cloudy days. "You remind me of my son," she commented as she occasionally did. "He's far away, living abroad, but when I look at you I feel like I still have someone nearby." On the 5th floor, reality was different. The office of Construtora Horizonte was an environment with low partitions and artificial lighting that strained the eyes. Gregory Prescott, his boss for 9 years, was already in his glass office, from where he could observe all the employees. Raphael settled at his desk, turned on his computer, and opened the project he was working on, an affordable housing complex. For many architects in the company, it was the unwanted job, the projects of lesser prestige. For Raphael, it was a chance to make a difference in the lives of families who, like his own, struggled to have a decent place to live. He incorporated sustainable solutions that didn't increase the cost of construction, utilization of natural light, cross-ventilation, rainwater harvesting. Small details that transformed houses into homes, saving resources for those who needed them most. "Walker," Gregory's authoritative voice interrupted his thoughts. "Are those adjustments to the Primavera project ready? The client has called 3 times since yesterday." "I'm finishing them, sir. I had to redo some structural calculations." Gregory rolled his eyes. "Less perfectionism and more productivity, Walker. On my desk by noon." Raphael watched the boss walk away. When he started at the company, Gregory seemed to value his commitment. Over time, everything boiled down to deadlines and numbers. The architect took a deep breath and returned to work, ignoring the back pain that worsened every day. At noon, he left the project on Gregory's desk and went to the pantry to heat his lunch. While eating alone, he mentally reviewed the list of outstanding bills. Liam's school supplies, the refrigerator repair, Zoe's asthma medication. The salary barely covered the basics. He was almost finished when Gregory entered the pantry. The stern expression and tense posture made Raphael swallow hard. "Do you think I've eaten today?" Gregory said without introduction. "I'm here fixing the mess you created with the client. The budget went over and they're furious." "But sir, I followed the specifications exactly as—" "Enough," Gregory interrupted him. "I've had it up to here. You can take your things. Your project is going to someone else." Raphael blinked, confused. "Are you taking me off the project or—" I'm firing you, Walker. 9 years and you still haven't understood how this business works. HR is already preparing your paperwork. Leave by the end of the day. Gregory left without waiting for a response, leaving Raphael paralyzed, fork suspended in the air. The world around seemed to slow down. 9 years. 9 years of unpaid overtime, missed birthday parties, promises of promotions never fulfilled. At what point did he allow himself to be treated like this? He stood there, motionless. A feeling of humiliation ran through him like a shiver. It was as if invisible chains were breaking all at once, but the relief didn't come. Only emptiness. Slowly, Raphael packed his lunchbox and headed to his desk. Colleagues watched him discreetly, some with pity, others relieved it wasn't them. In silence, he packed his personal belongings. A picture frame with a family photo, a small cactus that Zoe had given him on Father's Day, a few architecture books. In HR, he mechanically signed the termination documents. The words sounded distant as the analyst explained about termination pay and unemployment insurance. All Raphael could think about was how he would face Ava that night, how he would tell the children that their father had failed. He went down the glass-walled elevator, feeling as transparent as the glass surrounding him. In the lobby, he tried to pass discreetly, but Helen's watchful eyes caught him immediately. "Raphael, leaving early today?" She got up from the counter, approaching with obvious concern. When she noticed his red eyes, her expression changed. "Is everything okay, my son? Did something happen to Ava? To the boys?" He took a deep breath, trying to hold back his emotions. "No. I was fired." Helen was silent for a few seconds, indignation rising on her gentle face. "How come? You've always given your best. How can something like this happen?" Without waiting for a response, she went to her desk and opened the bottom drawer, rummaging through papers until she found a small paper box. She hurried back, glancing around to make sure no one was watching them. "This here. I kept it for you. Cards, notes, contacts. Every time someone called or showed up here asking for you, wanting to hire you. You always said you didn't need it, that it wasn't the right time. But I kept them anyway." Raphael took the box as if it weighed a ton. He opened it slowly, revealing dozens of business cards, papers with company names, notes with phone numbers. He recognized some names, renowned architects, prestigious construction companies, even an international NGO working with social housing. "How? Why did I never know about this?" he murmured, confused. "I always told you, my son. Remember, there are people looking for you." And you would respond that you were committed to Horizonte, that it would be disloyal to leave. The memory hit Raphael like a punch. It was true. He had ignored all the opportunities, convinced that loyalty would be rewarded, that his hard work would eventually be recognized. He realized how he had allowed himself to be trapped by fear, by the false sense of security that kept him stuck in a toxic job. Helen firmly squeezed his shoulder, leaning in to whisper, "Go up to the 17th floor. Trust me. You're not leaving this building unemployed, I'm sure." Still stunned, Raphael nodded. He entered the elevator again and pressed the button for the 17th floor, not knowing exactly what to expect. The doors opened to an environment completely different from what he was used to. The office was spacious and bright, with large windows framing the sky. Lush plants occupied strategic corners, and the walls displayed bold architectural projects and photos of sustainable buildings. At the reception, a young woman with round glasses smiled when she saw him. "Can I help you?" "Hi, I'm here to drop off my resume. My name is Raphael." The receptionist smiled as if she already knew him. "Please wait a moment." She disappeared down a corridor and, less than a minute later, returned accompanied by a middle-aged man wearing jeans and a blue dress shirt without a tie. "You? Raphael?" he said, extending his hand with genuine enthusiasm. "Man, you are a rare gem. We've tried to reach you so many times. Your projects with a sustainable focus are incredible. We are just assembling a team to lead this here." Raphael could hardly process what he was hearing. That was Henry Dalton, founder of Studio Verde, an architecture firm revolutionizing ecological constructions in the country. How do you know my work? He managed to ask. Henry smiled. I visited the Conjunto Primavera 2 years ago. I was impressed with the natural ventilation solutions and water utilization. When I found out you were the architect responsible, I tried to hire you immediately. I called several times, left business cards, but you never returned. The realization hit Raphael like a lightning bolt. Gregory had never forwarded any contact, any proposal. He had deliberately kept him in the dark, probably fearing losing his most dedicated architect, the one who did the less important work without complaining. But now he had discarded him without a second thought. I never received any contact, he confessed. I just got fired from Horizonte Construction Company. Henry didn't seem surprised. Their loss, our gain. Shall we talk? I have a proposal that will interest you. In the next 2 hours, Raphael got to know Studio Green from the inside. A company that valued exactly what he had always advocated for: accessible, sustainable, and human architecture. The salary offered was almost double what he used to make, with flexible hours and the possibility of working remotely 2 days a week. I want you to lead our social housing division, Henry explained. Your technical knowledge combined with social sensitivity is rare in this market. When he left the building that afternoon, Raphael carried a signed contract, a temporary badge, and a strange feeling in his chest, something he hadn't felt in a long time: hope. At the home gate, he hesitated. How would he explain everything to Ava? His heart was still racing with so many changes in a single day. He took a deep breath and opened the door. He found the family in the living room. Ava was helping Liam with his homework while Zoe was drawing on the floor. 3 pairs of eyes turned to him, surprised by his early arrival. Daddy! Zoe ran to hug him. You got home early. Raphael lifted her in his arms, feeling tears in his eyes. Ava immediately realized that something had happened. Kids, go wash your hands for the snack, she requested, and when they were alone, she asked softly, What happened, Rafa? Sitting at the kitchen table, Raphael told her everything: the dismissal, Helen's box, the proposal from Studio Verde. I'm scared, he admitted. What if it doesn't work out? What if I'm not good enough? Ava held his hands. You were always too good for that place. I saw it in your tired eyes, in your frustration. This is the opportunity to do what you really love, in the way you believe. A year passed. Raphael was leading the social projects team at Studio Verde, coordinating initiatives that transformed communities with sustainable and low-cost architecture. His ideas were not only heard but celebrated and implemented. He returned home at the agreed time, participated in his children's school activities, and on Sundays the family gathered to plan the renovation of the house they finally could buy. A simple house, but a dream come true. One morning he entered the commercial building where he now worked with pleasure. At the reception, Helen greeted him with her warm smile. He placed a box of freshly baked cupcakes on the counter. Helen, thank you for everything. She smiled with tears in her eyes. I didn't do anything, dear. You are the brilliant person. While waiting for the elevator, Raphael reflected on how he feared change, how he allowed himself to be imprisoned by the fear of the unknown. Today, he understood that knowing when to close cycles, to seek something new, is also part of the journey. It may seem difficult, but there is always hope for those who fight and are good people. The elevator arrived, and before entering, he took one last look at Helen, who was watching him with maternal pride. He smiled, finally understanding the truth she always tried to show him. Lack of recognition isn't always due to our own incapacity. Sometimes it's just the wrong place, the wrong environment, and the courage to leave may be exactly what life needs to show us our true worth. The doors closed softly in front of him, and Raphael thought, when the door closes, maybe it's just the elevator calling you to go up. If you enjoyed the story, please leave a comment with a rating from 1 to 5 to show how much you liked it. Also, watch the video that is now appearing on your screen. See you soon.